Good afternoon. Welcome. Here we are, League Playoffs, Week 1, maybe Week 2, but first round of 16. We are here with co-op crosskeys as the mode for Game 2 between Usedbow, represented here by Gem and Telethar, versus JKLOL, represented by Jesse and Leoria. These teams had played Game 1 earlier, so Usedbow does have a 1-0 advantage. This is a best of 3 series, so Gem and Telethar are looking to close it out, and Jesse and Leoria are looking to force a Game 3. I'm pretty excited for this match. Joined with me is a fellow Pink Link enthusiast and user, Will. How's it going?
Hello, it's going well. Looking forward to this one. Obviously, this is a must-win for JKLOL to stay alive in the playoffs here, and not an easy matchup to say the least, going up against the one seed.
True.
The one seed from the Dark World Conference, going up against a team that was undefeated until the very last match of the regular season, and two guys, Gem and Telethar, who both have lots and lots and lots of cross keys experience. So they'll have the workout cut out for them today, but still going to be a fun matchup. Still going to be one of those anything can happen sort of things with Rando, and we'll hope for an exciting one here.
For sure. And, of course, yes, Gem and Telethar's reputation certainly precedes them, known to be some of the very talented runners, of course, of the community. Also likes to come up with, let's say, creative modes. 80 KDB, which is what Game 1 was played, I believe also was cooked up by chefs Gem and Telethar. Whether you bless it or hate it, that is, in fact, where the origins were. And I also want to give credits for like Jesse and Leoria. In fact, actually, in the interview, Jesse was talking about what mode we're going to pick for Game 2, because the lower seed has a choice for Game 2. And Leoria's like, well, I want to have fun, so let's just go play some co-op crosskeys. And that was actually really refreshing to hear. So here we are. We're playing co-op crosskeys.
Yeah, and I think they also did the math a little bit, and we're like, well, we're probably going to get it in Game 3 if we force a Game 3 anyway. So
Exactly.
Just go with a mode that you want to play. It's that simple.
It's imagining having fun in Brando and enjoying your time. By the way, we defined Ganon, by the way. As the race has started. Jesse has found Ganon at Hyrule Castle dropdown, which is the sewers. So no Aga Tower potential shenanigans today, and more stuff at Hyrule Castle. Pod, big key, days.
And just like that, we're a minute in, and all 4 runners are in 4 completely different places. So
yeah, that's exactly how I expected co-op crosskeys to go. Typically, or normally, more often than not, we kind of see 2 people, like typically diagonal screens, in the same-ish area, but it turns out, because they're interested in connectors, that might not actually be the case.
Oh yeah, we got, let's see, Telethar's in Lost Woods. Leoria is entering CAC from the north, Gem's coming in from the south, and we'll see where Jesse is going. He's going east. All right.
We got all our cardinal directions covered. Do you think they called it Eastern Palace because it's in the east? I'm just asking.
Yeah, I do think that, actually.
Okay, alright, okay, perfect. Okay, good. It wasn't just me who maybe just thought of that thought. Watching this game for a number of years, it didn't really occur to me why it was called Eastern until kind of now. Maybe I thought it was named after Easter. That could have been another one.
I'm gonna blow your mind when I tell you why it's called Desert Palace later.
Oh my god. Are we going to Desert soon?
We already found it.
Oh, we already found it. That's true. Gem is demonstrating what Leo found earlier, which is, yes, Desert Front. And yeah, getting some nice big magic drop. I think Jesse also got that from the guards earlier.
As Leo finds the Desert Big Key in the back of the tavern.
Perfect. Yes, that's exactly how crosskeys you expect to go. You find the thing, or somebody finds the thing, 2 minutes after you were just there.
Yep. Jesse just pulled the Cane of Samaria out of the cave south of Saha.
Light fairy, something.
And which one of those rods was that on the desert torch there? I did not see if that was...
That's a great question. I also did not see. Fishing Boo, by the way, has graciously volunteered his services to track all 4 screens, somehow. I mean, I know he only has 2 eyes and 2 hands, but like, man. Very, very talented. So I don't know if he ended up seeing anything. But...
So we're going to get our first look at back of escape here, because Gem, I think, is the first runner to actually come up with a bomb.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. He ended up taking out a bunch of rats, but unfortunately didn't really drop anything useful. Oh, but we got the mirror!
All right, that's a pretty good find.
Dude, look at the synced money farming. I'm excited.
But we're going clockwise versus counterclockwise.
Yeah, okay, never mind. It's not quite synced, but I was still excited that we finally managed to get one screen common between some. Okay, Leo actually going in to 50 Rupee Cave to farm, presumably the rest of Bottle Merchant money. I don't know if Talthar is interested in doing the same thing, but it is actually a very convenient source of money, especially when you know that you are going to spend it relatively shortly.
Looks like she's actually going to make a third trip just in case she finds a shop with bombs for sale. And speaking of Eastern Palace, look what Jessie has found over at the Flute 5 spot.
Okay, which is actually in the eastern part of the world, so not quite as shuffled, but yes, it's still very much with its namesake. I don't see any Phoenix Wright sprites going into Eastern, so all is well with the world. All is normal. As we see in this case, if Jessie will end up finding everything, and if we need to wake any Phoenix Sprite users up, call them up from work or something.
There you go.
Alright, maybe Gem will end up being the one farming the Bottle Merchant money. Thinking. Okay, looks like he is going to go back and do this.
And it does look like what we're doing here.
Yeah, and my guess is Talthar with the Desert Big Key that he ended up getting from back of Tavern, he'll probably go, like, if he's on his way somewhere to, like, Desert, then maybe he'll go get the big chest. I think it was down here, right? Brothers East?
Desert, I think the entrance we saw was in the Lost Woods.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nope, nope, just kidding. It was right here.
Okay. Well, looks like, yeah, we have a little change of heart, actually, from Leo. Maybe we want to check the Maze Race first.
Yeah, I think she wants to check that and check the other entrance over here and get her. She's going to find a shop here and get her bombs, which will be nice for her.
Yeah, definitely makes the early money farming very, very worth it. Or not. Okay, we're gonna go back and buy some bombs here. Okay, the Desert Big Key has turned into a mushroom. I don't think we found Potion Shop through all the things that we have seen, so won't be able to see the fruition of this turn in just quite yet. But I guess if we
could see it at any time. You never know.
True, that's true. I was gonna say, with that King of Samaria, and I don't condone this, with that mushroom, we might be able to do fake powder if we find bats.
That is true. Unfortunately, everyone's already gotten a full magic drop.
Oh, that's also a good point, yeah. Jesse, going to the rest of Eastern, let's see in this case what the Out of Logic chest has for us.
Another money farm here at the Bombable Hut in Kakariko, as Jesse pulls a shield.
Yeah, but so far, among all of the discoveries and findings and such, that mirror in the back of Escape is pretty dang nice. Mirror is arguably one of the best, most playable items you can find in Cross Keys. Of course, the other one being the one item that may actually eventually put Gem and Talthar on tilt because, well, we're walking instead of running. They have a good, like, 50 minutes in them before they start shambling, because they can't use the A button.
Jesse getting that mirror now as Gem finds a connector up to east side of Death Mountain here.
Okay, yeah, these are really now. Anytime when you can find another, I guess, like section of the world that you couldn't otherwise just walk to, or flute to for that matter, but we don't really have a flute right now. It's always going to be a very nice set of explorations to get more coverage. Jesse though. Finding the big chest entrance of Turtle Rock, which is at... Oh, just in the cack. Okay.
And more connectors. Oh, that's a big find. Telethar gets a glove there out of Agina's cave, which was the shop right next to Lake Hylia. Jesse, when he went that direction, did not have any bombs yet, so he could not get that.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully that's something that JKLOL gets back to soon here.
Yeah, by the way, to add insult on injury, Telethar immediately using the glove in front of Link's house to farm the 50/50 rock, and it's successful. And I mean, it's just, like, bombs, I guess, beget more bombs, right? That's how it works.
Yep.
Is that a bottle? Maybe?
What's that? On Lumberjack?
Yeah, on Lumberjack.
That was a map.
Map. Oh, okay, then I don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't think we will see anyone picking that up today.
Alright, well, speaking of, some bombs, Gem is going through the front escape. We've already gotten the back, so presumably he's just going to go all the way to the back to Zelda Cell. Being on 6 bombs is enough, technically. I think you need 5 to get through the rest of Bomb Escape. Those of you who've been part of the any type of standard starts or main tournament, I think 2021 maybe, where it was all standards, hard standard. This was very familiar to many runners. May or may not be outside of your comfort zone, but this was certainly something that it has been very well practiced.
For sure, and at this point, because Telethar got that glove, he cut off his route going towards the rest of the eastern area, so they do not have knowledge of that Cane of Samaria just yet, which would be a useful weapon to have for this.
That's true. Cane of Samaria also was, yes, one of the other standard stars, and Jesse, of course, armed with, as you said, Cane of Samaria, and a lot of bombs. A couple more than Jump had initially, but he's not going to have to basically use his bombs as his only source of weaponry. Now he can, of course, use Cane of Samaria, which he has a good set of magic. Yeah, you can see Gem doing the old 2-pot strat.
The old reliable.
Hey, more bombs. I can't complain about more bombs. Gem can't complain about them. I'm sure somebody else can complain about them. Yeah, and looks like Gem, and again, this is another situation, as you mentioned earlier, with Jesse having the Cane of Samaria would be significantly friendlier for Jesse. I won't say, friendly, because it's not like they have a lamp to fully illuminate their way, but with that cane block, it is significantly easier to find your way.
One thing that Gem is going to have a little bit easier than Jesse is that Gem's doing this on 6 hearts. Jesse just picked up his 4th there out of Boomerang Chest.
Oh, good point. Yeah, health is definitely one of the more valuable assets that you can have. Doing Dark Cross on literally nothing. Alright, Telethar, though, somewhere has found GT, and we have found 2 big keys, Swamp and Mire.
And again, that Cane of Samaria there, the lack of knowledge about the Cane of Samaria could be something that benefits JKLOL when they find GT.
True. In this case, only the cane. Yeah, you need cane for right side, but again, it actually opens up one chest, which is tower. Not the fastest check, obviously, but it is a logical check, and the game does not care how convenient the logic is.
So we're seeing a little bit of, kind of crossover between our runners now, trying to get, we're seeing what we've seen from other runners at this point. I think Telethar is the only one heading towards new information for us, because I don't think we've had anyone go to the southwest area of the map here.
Yeah. Alright, we found Spike Cave in the 50 Rupee Cave. Yeah, and this is all glove lock stuff, so again, as you mentioned, Gem, of course, getting his glove right now out of Agina, which was at Lake Hylia shop. Or Fortune Teller, one of those places. Yeah, and Jesse and Leoria don't have that information right now because they were lacking bomb. Presumably, maybe this is what Jesse's doing now, is going back
it looks like the most likely thing that he would be going back for, which will be good for him. They won't really get, they're not going to really isolate any checks there because of not having that glove early. We also saw Hype Cave there from Telethar. I think the only thing we got out of there was a bottle with a fairy in it, though.
Yeah. At least they have a mirror, so that the mirror is certainly very valuable in multiple ways. One of them, more tacitly, allows you to keep your fairy, so you don't have Death Warp, with the maybe exception of Bunny Revival. Then you have to let go of the fairy, but trying to get out of dungeons and take an early exit, you can actually save that for a time you actually want to use the fairy.
Yep, and Jesse does get that glove. I bet we'll see Leoria right over there after him to grab that, and probably her cane as well.
Yeah, I would say maybe, and again, this is very early, but it doesn't really change the fact that I was here early and didn't have a bomb, and I missed a glove because of it. You do feel a little annoyed, but I mean that's just the nature of rando. Sometimes
Yeah,
you...
the thing is that you're glad you got back to it at 12 minutes instead of at minute 45 or whatever after you've isolated, the liftable rock by Ice Rod Cave and the liftable Desert Rock and all of that.
Zelda needs to be a bit careful here, going in South Shore, a bit defenseless. No Kena Samaria, although Gem does have it, so he at least has the knowledge of it, but knowing is only half the battle. He has, well, probably more than the other half in actually survive this area. He does have a fairy. That's right, we just literally talked about this. So he's not going to be death warping on the overworld, which is good, but again, this is something that you...
It's fine.
Everything's fine. Yeah. Okay. You may not want to spend prematurely. Ooh, paradox. That's a nice connector.
Yep, we'll be right back for that, I'm sure.
Gem using some pots and bones knowledge. We saw this. Wait, did you do this earlier, Will, in your race?
yeah, I did because I was about to mirror and flute to Death Mountain. I'm like, I want hearts.
That's right. I remember that. I was like, wow, this is. It's okay. This is pink
I've changed
solidarity.
The meta. I'm taking credit for it.
That's fine. That's perfectly acceptable.
Everyone's gonna start using Pink Link, and everyone's gonna start grabbing those Eastern pots. It's the new thing.
Yeah, so those are actually very useful. Ooh, nice Kena Samaria usage here. Don't often get to see that in Eastern. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, there are actually 3 hidden pots underneath the eave of Eastern Palace Mouth Chest that you most likely probably didn't know about until you started playing Pots and Bones, and then you missed your hammer down there because that's a viable pot location that you have to go explore.
I think that was literally the story of how I learned about it. We do see Moon Pearl here in Paradox Cave. Okay. So Jesse and Telethar both getting that at the same time.
Alright, and we actually got some nice extra cash. Telethar having 500. Don't know if he has any desire to, I guess, leave Paradox or exit Paradox the way he came in, like from Ice Rock Cave, and then take Flipper over. Or we'll just end up exploring more of the other connectors, like Jesse does. With that very convenient Moon Pearl that we found in Paradox, we have found our connector over to Dark World, which is a Hype Cave.
And Telethar going to show us the other side of Paradox here. Up on top of the castle. Oh, nice. Okay, well, he won't be able to get back in from that.
Unless we find 2 swords in a cave, which we're not doing at Long Fairy Cave, unfortunately.
No, we're not.
Even in Logical Randomizer, when those fairies are no longer fairies, the 4 rats. He's just farming for bombs, I understand.
Yeah, you'll take the top up there, but Jesse's gonna get spat out there at the top. Not gonna find anything useful there, but he does have that knowledge at least about the access to South Dark World.
Yeah, that's actually
through the other entrance there.
Right. Yeah, that's I was gonna say. Like, that's a very good point. I don't think actually Gem and Telethar know about it. Maybe this is gonna be Gem's task to go do. He still has to go to Paradox.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he'll get the Pearl. He'll take that other entrance and get to explore Dark World, which is what Leora is going to get to do here as well.
Yeah, assuming she survives the crabs.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. In fact, she uses the brilliant tactic of damage boosting off of the bomb, so we don't get killed by the crabs. Holy frick!
It's fine. They're just going to avoid us. It's fine.
Yeah, that's exactly how crabs work in my game.
Everything's fine.
Avoid me.
These are professional runners.
Yes, that's true. They're in the playoffs. Round of 16. Very difficult, actually, to battle through a bunch of very other talented runners. Alright, Telethar going into Desert Big Chest. Knowing in this case we have Samaria, so we can, in fact, I believe all of this is in Logic, right? We can just
this connector and Chain Chomps were both in Logic with that cane. Oh, it gets him over to the other side of the mountain. That's useful.
Yeah, alright, yeah. Fishing Boo, our tracker, did see that Gem found a GT small key in Dark Cross. Out of Logic still, but they do have knowledge of GT and Samaria, but I see what Telethar has found in
Yeah,
Thieves Town.
the old man cave Thieves Town has some boots for us, as well as some powder there in the second chest.
Alright, so this is a stop what you're doing, partner, and come join me. But presumably Jem is almost done with Paradox, and he'll get his pearl, so we'll just delay that boots for a couple more, let's say, minute or two.
Yeah, he's got a little bit, you kind of want to get him out of that other connector and into the Dark World here, and probably through that, but there's also that sort of feels bad of knowing where the boots are, but not being able to just still walking around the Dark World.
Yeah, is he gonna live and get this pearl out of curiosity? Because these mini Moldorms are...
Speaking of living, Telethar just did a nice little one-heart scoot between those two boulders.
Nice. This is Old Man Rescue, it looks like, maybe? Can't really tell.
Yeah, I believe so.
I do like the fact that we have found the red boomerang, and as part of the Boomerangers, Mike, the third member of Team Usedbow, is in fact the red Boomeranger. Really just with us here in spirit and probably in chat as well.
I didn't even know there was a secret boomerang team.
Oh, this was for the Survivors of Hyrule. I'm not sure if...
okay.
I guess
that wasn't really a secret, was it? It was kind of a public rumor.
Telethar is going to use that fairy whether he wants to or not.
Jem is setting up taking an intentional death on the overworld here. Is he setting up a save scum of some sort, or is he just trying to get to his boots as fast as possible? I'm not entirely sure. Does mean that Leo's going to be the only one kind of showing us the South Dark World here. I don't think she's found anything too noteworthy. Oh yeah, Warfjig pointing out in chat that it's probably a portal save from Jem, which is a smart play that I'm never smart enough to actually make myself.
It's okay. He's playing as Pinkling, honestly. Like, whatever he does, you just do by proxy, so... We did find the Compass of Thieves Town on Stumpy on Leoria's side, and yeah, she's giving us a brand new set of checks in the Dark World.
Yep, and Jesse just found GT, so we're going to see Tile Room here, which will be... Oh, no, we're not. Just kidding.
Apparently not going to see Tile Room. We're going to see the GT Torch. That's something. Alright, and that looks like Jen, found his way to Thieves Town because there is probably nothing that can stop him from getting to Thieves Town once there are the boots. And of course, there's pattern in second chest, so everything looks pretty hunky-dory. Okay, maybe Jesse just wanted to check the torch before we go back. This is
the hopium for Fire Rod Lamp in Tile Room chest, and then you can go do right side.
Oh, okay. With our hammer, I guess.
Leo. Oh no, she found Mini Moldorm Cave there, but has no weapon other than bombs, and ended up...
Did we find a bomb shop nearby in Light World?
Yes, there was. Yeah, at the Light World location. Hopefully, she can remember that here after Dig Game. That would be a very quick way to restock on bombs.
I like this pattern, whether she intended to do this or not. But there's also seems to be a lot of digs here for hopefully something useful. Jem also rescued the old man, for better for worse. Maybe that we want to explore where the old man leads us.
Well, I guess that answers the question of which rod it was on Desert Torch for us, because Jesse just pulled the ice rod out of Tile Room.
Okay. That's good to know. We don't know actually what our prizes are for dungeons quite yet. Having the ice rod there, I may or may not be, Turtle Rock may or may not be appended. I do like the parody, by the way, between Jem and Telethar. Telethar rescued Old Man and then basically almost, well, I think he died eventually after that. And then Jem, of course, did the exact same thing to the boulders, and everyone's kind of, it's parody.
Right. Leo did remember the bomb shop there, and she's back in here with a full stock, so we'll finally get to see the 5 items here out of Mini Moldorm Cave, which will be new information for us.
Yeah, hopefully she can get something.
Telethar finds a connector up to the top of Bumper Cave, and then the Light World version of that is Spiral
disgusting.
Cave. So you just have to
Alright.
follow that immediately and abandon Dark World for now.
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully, ideally, this will be something that only Telthar has to go do. I mean, this is the benefit of the curse of being one of the pioneers in the newer area. Sometimes you can get good things like half magic, armor, a sword, and then sometimes you just get stuck with I have to take this connector, as you said, otherwise because it's just so bad to get back to.
Leo finds a pod small over at Offset Kid at Race Game Left.
Okay.
And looks like Jesse is on his way over to the same area.
Yeah. It would be very nice for Jesse and Leoria to go find their way through Turtle Rock to go to the mountain. Certainly, I'm among probably other people as well, partial to the boots. They do give a lot of power, especially with Pearl and Mirror together. They can get a lot of mobility. If you didn't have the Pearl, having the boots I think is slightly less impactful. It's just because you have to probably bunny walk a lot if you're in Dark World, but just having the rest of the equipment with you, you're just incrementally losing time if you don't, like, the longer you don't have boots.
Yeah,
now,
and
of course,
the other thing that's of note there is that Jem just found at the Bonkable Dark Rocks, or Bonkable Rocks there by Bomb Shop, he found the back of Skull Woods and pulled the shovel out of there, which he's going to get to immediately check.
Oh, that's true. Actually, very, very convenient.
And Leo's going to be the first one. Hopefully, I imagine after this, she'll probably follow that connector out of the west entrance here as well. But she's going to be the first one to show us what's at Chain Chomps, which is a logical check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah. So the shovel led to the lamp, which is a fire source. So if we want to sequence break right side GT. With the lamp instead of the fire rod, then that is an option. I don't know how appealing that option is right now.
Well, it's a more appealing option when you do have the boots, at least. So
true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gem also trying. Okay, we'll get Telethar and Gem together. Not often you get to see this. Synced in the same room. I believe.
Come on, split up left, right. There you go. Good job.
Oh my gosh. Did they actually coordinate?
Oh no, they're just gonna all check all five. No real-time communication there of minimizing checks.
Alright, okay, well, we're all, I don't know, 40 rupees and 3 bombs and a bug net richer? Okay, that's fine. Are they really gonna just do the same thing? I don't know if I've ever seen this with these guys before. Ever, like, practiced or... And Gem has no bottle.
Gem doesn't have the bottle. Meanwhile, Leo did not follow that connector out of TR, which is unfortunate because it means that their JKLOL is going to be at least a little bit later getting over to the west side of the mountain and finding their boots.
Alright, do you think Gem and Telethar will go in the same direction?
Well, for now, yes. I think we've seen both. I think we've seen both exits out of this dungeon.
Oh, this is the fire rod? Did you say that?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, what was on Desert Torch? Desert Torch was Ice Rod or Fire Rod?
That was Fire Rod, because Ice Rod was in Tile Room.
Tile Room, gotcha. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to go fight Trinix, do we?
Not anytime soon. We don't have a big key. Don't have any small keys.
Okay. True. Okay, no big key. No. That's right. Yeah.
And we also don't have a way to actually damage Trainx, so we probably want one of those at some point.
At some point, yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. Although speaking, okay, so with the fire rod then, and with the sword, okay, we can potentially go and do another boots lock location at the back of Skull Woods. We do need, I think, a Skull Woods small key from somewhere that we haven't.
Did we find a sword?
No, we have not found a sword yet. No, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for some sort of permanent melee weapon, whether that be a hammer or a sword of some type.
All right, Leo's going to get her boots as Jesse finds the exit to TR, so he'll have access to this very easily as well. So this is going to be good for JKLOL to get those boots here, still relatively early.
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh, there's a sword.
Sequence broke a sword that is hookshot locked, very, very much so. And yeah, this is the power of the boots. Good to see Gem someone more, I would just say, consistent with hovering. There was a kind of a brief period of time where he maybe wasn't as confident. But I mean, and this is of course the impossible chest, so no one's actually gonna get this one. Yeah, but this is somewhat more of a, I won't say like an impetus for Telethar, but knowing now where a sword is, it's like, oh wow, well I guess I'm gonna try and get that. Was that half magic on the floating island?
I believe it was.
Okay, alright, that's good to know if we ever find that connector. Yeah, probably gonna get this one more shot is my guess, otherwise this might be Telethar's problem.
Yeah, this is turning into time sink territory, and again, with that sword there, kind of enticing Telethar to get over there. Never mind.
Alright, okay, we got there. That's a Meyer small key. Well, I mean, it's not like you won't turn it down if you have it, but like, I don't think Telethar's gonna go in, be hovering it.
We also got an interesting find from Telethar there on East Dark Death Mountain, Ice Palace over there, and he has that fire rod, so looks like we're gonna see him head in and get a few checks. Yeah, so we've got Ice Palace going. Jesse's about to get his boots out of thieves down here. I think this is a new entrance from Gem. Checking out. Oh, nope, just the exit from Spec Rock connector there at Spiral Cave. And Telethar here, I imagine, is going to go to right side, get the 2 checks that he can do there, and then mirror back to the front is probably what I would expect for a route here. So he's not going to be able to get the small key from under the block. Oh no, he's not even going to go to spike chest. So just going to see big key chest and leave. From right side at least.
No, I guess we can't get right. No, we can still get spike chest, right? I guess
You can
maybe
get spike chest, but you couldn't get back without mirroring,
right.
which is, I think, what the calculation is there.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
and he could still get spike chest going kind of the long way through,
through
the dungeon.
Yeah, and this is I don't know if this is like an artifact of key drop routing when you don't have all the small keys, but also like you don't have a hammer. So I'm sure these guys, this is not the first time somebody has gone into Ice Palace without the hammer or the ability to clear it fully. So this is probably something that they're used to. Speaking of hammer, or lack of hammer, we are back in GT on Gem's side, getting a small key, having the original one he got from, I guess now the in-logic check of Dark Cross with his lamp. He'll probably go and do right side GT. No big key, means that we can't really do much in the big chest. I believe we need to get right side stuff.
Yeah, he can go all the way to Ice Armos here, although he doesn't have a real fabulous way of actually killing them. At least he has the fighter sword, though.
Yes, that's exactly what I look for.
Otherwise, you'd be seeing boomerang strats without a hint of irony.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. At least it's the red one, and it goes faster. It doesn't do more damage than the blue boomerang, but at least it comes back to you faster, maybe.
We're really splitting hairs there.
Yeah. I mean, Kane Samari is also pretty nice, especially for the last Armos, where everything's kind of supercharged. So he'll rush at you faster.
Yeah, Kane is very helpful, even just kind of dealing some chip damage along the way. You can just leave a block behind you while you go aggro with the sword. But managing the magic to get there, especially when you have to go through right side here, is usually pretty tricky.
Yeah, I wonder if I should actually use the lamp at any of these points. Looks like the answer is no. Alright, Telethar, by the way, in Hookshot Cave, trying to get his hover through just for the sword will be well worth it. Very well done.
Yeah.
No, never mind. Well, okay, we got to the important ledge, so now we just bonk the rest when we got our swords.
Yep.
All right, Compass Room has Skull small, big, TR big.
This GT is loaded with big keys. We've already seen 4 of them in here on right side. And an ice rod for good measure.
Were you saying something about we don't have to worry about beating TR yet?
Well, you know, we're still, it's not logical, but we sure can at this point. It'd be really miserable. Probably want at least another bottle. I think 3 bottles is logical for a fighter sword fight, but it's possible. If you go find that half magic up off of Floating Island, then it's a little...
True.
Then maybe you could start having a conversation about it, but you still don't really want to until you at least get a master sword. Or a hammer.
Yeah, or a hammer, or anything that even, I was gonna say even like a bow won't be very useful for Trinex, but it will certainly be another weapon that we can actually use. You just have a quiver aching to be emptied. What is health are fine, by the way. So human is a Turtle Rock now, getting the another bot.
It's okay, it's not in logic.
It is not in logic. Wouldn't it be kind of nice if Gem's like, hey, I could use that bottle as we're alright, fighting Ice Armos. This is a more challenging fight than you might actually think it is. I mean, like, yes, Armos is the first Light World, really the first official, I think, boss of this game. So it's not really intended to be, I guess, dealing a lot of damage, but this is on ice, and also we don't have a bow. So there's not only a lot of slashes, it's also just about endurance, and you can easily get hit.
And Leo's not going to have that opportunity here, because there is not she does not have a way to deal damage without resources here to the Ice Armos.
That's a good point. Do you know what puts Ice Armos like in logic then? Do you need like a sword or a bow or some sort of melee weapon, or are you good with just smashing?
I would assume any sort of weapon that damages them puts it in logic. I don't know if I don't ask me, especially given that this is now that we have different branches with different logics and everything. I don't know the intricacies of it anymore. But
good point. Yeah. I mean, I just can't imagine like Captain Samaria and with her mitts back here and the big key to this dungeon. Okay. Well, remember what I was saying about checking the big chest and that we couldn't do that? Yeah, we can do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those mitts, okay, Quake. Okay, it looks like at least Fishing Boo is marked Ether as TR entry, so we don't actually need that.
Yeah, we've gotten spit out of TR entrance. So.
Right. Yeah, so maybe Meyer entry, that would be the only other thing that would be worth it, of course.
Yeah, the mitts there, though, I think are going to be the big find, and depending on what those lead to, could be very beneficial for Usedbow, or could be kind of they end up sinking some time into mitts checks and not actually following the trail of progression that's in other places. We don't really know yet.
Yeah, and the fact that right now, like, you kind of see Gem take a good amount of time investment into even doing the Ice Armos fight without a bow. I don't really know if Telthar is like aching to go down that route for mitts. I mean, they could be important, as you said, but maybe he won't necessarily take that investment just quite yet, until he maybe comes back with hopefully better equipment if he needs to do this. And so that means that these mislock locations are probably going to be Gem's problem. Sorry, Gem's adventure.
or just his problem. I think you had it right the first time. Looks like Jesse is going to give us the quick dip into Ice Palace as well here.
Yeah, and I think similar to Telthar's situation, he also does not have a sword. Telthar's sword came after Ice Palace, so kind of in the similar spot. No real better equipment from Jesse's side, no half magic either, and I think based on what we've seen on Telthar's side, there wasn't really anything of note in Ice Palace for us.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything too impactful there.
Yeah, really glad to see, by the way. And this is somewhat, I won't say, like, well, this is somewhat within, like, expectations, but just also to showcase just how well practiced some of these runners. You can start to see, even without a sword, being able to take down the pen gators in the compass room. I mean, like, it's a very nice strat, pretty cool, especially when you end up taking down all 6 of them in 2 bombs. But again, this is something that you can see that Jesse, Leoria, Gem, and Telethar have played this game for quite a bit. Alright, we have
That's a little
Smith.
wild to me right now is just how little actual information we have about pendants and crystals.
True.
We have, I missed it, but apparently Fishing Brewer Tracker has marked Desert and Thieves Town as the red crystals on Gem's side, so I assume he found Bomb Shop there at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other than that, I don't believe we've seen much in the way of even maps picked up or anything like that, much less. And we haven't seen any dungeon clears yet, so we're still kind of waiting to get some of our information on what it is we'll need to be doing today.
Yeah, and it does look like, unfortunately, maybe the mitts are going to be the answer. Telethar is back in GT, and without really much better than what Jum had to go through. So I guess that's what we're doing. Gem also, of course, took a trip to Sweden to go say hi to Mike, but then unfortunately had to cut the trip short and deliver Mike back to his home because Mike, well, unfortunately wasn't feeling well. So you really don't want to, overexert his their teammate.
Yeah, Leoria did go to Spike Chest there, since she and Jesse are splitting this dungeon up, and she got blue mail out of it, so that's a nice to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially now. We have blue mail and what, like 6 hearts or something like that. That's actually pretty reasonable. I will say that at the 40-minute mark, everyone is looking, I think, reasonably healthy enough. Especially, nice flute, by the way, in wherever this is, Blind's Hut, wherever this entrance is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I wasn't paying exactly attention if we're one of the Mitz-locked locations here, but if so, then that's definitely a nice find for Usedbow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now we can finally have access to...
Oh no, we're just over at the...
Oh, we just haven't been here for, apparently... Oh, so crazy.
Yeah, this is our first trip up into Skull Woods at all. Yeah, we really haven't seen much of North Dark World or Village yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I guess both teams showed us South Dark World, right? Like Dig Game, Stumpy. I guess to some extent Gem showed us Smith as well, which just doesn't we count that as. But yeah, nothing really. I think further north of that. I guess we saw Bumper Ledge, but that's kind of it. Nothing, yeah, within Skullwoods itself.
Yeah. Let me see if Leo comes back in to set up. Looks like she is going to give another try at this hover, which will be good for her and Jesse if she can pull it off.
And we found the dam back here. It looks like in the back of Skullwoods location, so that is certainly very useful, which means Fire Rod is very much desired. And of course, Swampy be a pendant. No, we don't know yet. We don't know a lot of things.
We're just still very few in our pieces of completing Swamp to begin with. We have no small key, no flippers, no hook shot, no hammer.
Yeah, great points. Great points. Yeah, it does seem like, well, we have a lot of stuff, good stuff. We don't have a lot of other stuff. Like, we have a lot, and yet we have so little, right? As you mentioned, we don't have flippers, we don't have hookshot, we don't have hammer, we don't have even like a bow. But we have both rods. We've got mitts. We've got boots.
We've got lots of dungeons found as well. I'm not sure how many we're missing. Well, we haven't seen Hera, Pod, or Mire yet. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
We do have access to everything else except maybe back of Desert. I don't think we've seen that yet either.
Mm-hmm. Which is in this case required, of course. We do see it was a 5/6 crystal.
Mm-hmm.
But the Desert Palace Big Key, that does seem like something that people can go clear almost immediately. The only cautionary word I will give is that I highly doubt this will actually come up, but I don't think that Usedbow will actually wait for a bow in order to go beat Lambos, despite all of the memery that is a part of their team logo.
I think if you've made it this far in the season, you have to commit to the bit. But that's just my take.
They did try. At least one of them, I think, has tried. Maybe delaying. I think in game 1 or something, Gem ended up delaying Desert to combine it later with Mire, but Mike decided to power through and go beat Landless.
Yeah, Gem activating Flute here, which means we're probably going to get our first look into the Misery Mire area. So that could help with tracking down some of those remaining dungeons that we just listed off. The other one we haven't seen is Castle Tower, which Gem just picked up a small key to out of Skull Woods.
Yeah, by the way, where do you think this hookshot is? I mean, I know that like we're still missing a lot of stuff, but our only sword seemingly right now is locked by that hookshot, and it is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's a great question. We've got a lot of entrances unchecked at this point. We got a lot of I'm not sure how much we have in the way of like actual dungeons that we haven't seen checks for yet, but and we do see the information there in chat that Skull Woods is a pendant.
Yes, I did catch that on Leo's side. She did. Yeah, I'm coming in armed with the Skull Woods map. Hooray! At least that's some amount of knowledge. Yeah.
So yeah, a quick summary of how we got here, 44 minutes in. Looks like we have, I would say Usedbow has had a slight advantage thus far in terms of getting to things in the right order. The information that they got, getting the information and the utility they got from getting the fighter sword out of hovering through Hookshot Cave is proving beneficial to them, as they were able to use that to get through Ice Armos and GT and get the mitts there, which have opened some things up to them. They also have a little bit of advantage in exploring North Dark World and have a flute from that as well. Leo and Jesse, though, are making their way to that same area of the world here, and we'll be getting at least that flute information soon. The question for them is when they're going to get back to GT, or when they're going to find a weapon, really, that gets them to go back to GT and get through Ice Armos to get those mitts, because we're about to see from Gem's side what's over in the Mire area behind those mitts.
Like Mire?
Mire in the Mire area, Eastern in the Eastern area. Oh. Yeah,
we're staying on brand.
Why
do you think it's called? Oh, look, it's Bombos on Desert Ledge, which was the entry to Mire. That's convenient, I guess.
We got our open mode memes in here today. Thanks, game.
Yeah, so Gem's gonna check at least the back of the desert. Yeah, as you said, we found one more dungeon entry and a nice bomb refill for Graveyard Ledge. Yeah, but so far it does certainly looks like that the mitts are, unless we find another connector on Jump side that could take us in the Mire area, then maybe we don't need those mitts, but it's definitely looking like we're gonna need those mitts today, which means, again, all of the stuff is pretty out of logic. I don't think we have no GT small keys. Right now, we don't know where that hookshot is, so a permanent weapon isn't really in the picture, logically. So, but it certainly does looking like the longer that Jesse and Leo put off right side GT, the more of an advantage the Gem Teletort will have. Speaking of another dungeon, we found Pod also in the Mire area.
Yeah, and this is another dungeon full of items that is mitts locked here, along with that Misery Mire that Gem will be back in just a minute if he can. I'm sure he is holding out for, please give me something better to kill Vidi with than bombs and fighter sword.
Yeah. Memories of yesterday's spoiler log race that Gem and Teletort had. Came fighting back. What were they on? 4 or 5 hearts? Fighter sword?
4 hearts when I tuned in. Yeah.
Okay.
It was not pretty.
I don't think they want to repeat that unless they are absolutely forced to. Now, sometimes this is what happens in co-op. You end up finding stuff on. I mean, also in cross keys in general, but maybe a higher chance in co-op because you're having more coverage. So less opportunity, I guess, to get the things that you want. Alright, Gem's going to, especially for this side, this makes a lot of sense, do mimic clipping. He does have a bottle with a fairy in it, but honestly, like, him and a few other people, their mimic clip is ridiculously fast. So he even has the emote.
I wish I was good enough at anything to have an emote for it.
Just like that. It took me longer to type the emote and post it in chat than it took him to actually mimic it. Alright, what's over
so,
here?
yeah, what's behind this bow we don't have? 3 bombs and 20 bucks. Looks like Telethar is going to be the one who gets to go to the back here for Usedbow since he has an extra key.
Mm-hmm.
And the big key. I'm pretty sure Jen has that as well. We saw that early.
Right. Pod Big was in Desert Big Chest. That's right, yeah. I remember trying to wake Dazed up. And I think he's still asleep right now in Korea.
Oh, there's another pod small.
Alright, well, are we going back?
Maybe I could see Gem getting sent for that, and maybe, well, actually, probably not. I don't think. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we're finding another pod small in, or sorry, GT small in pod, which means that unless, that has to be the fourth. Is that hookshot, by the way? That was a hookshot in pod as well. And Castle Tower, dude, are this required? Where? Okay, I think the key chest is 3 small key locked, right? Which means that the other GT small keys have to be available somewhere.
Oh, there's a sword.
Oh my god.
Gem's real glad to see that for that upcoming Vidi fight. Hook shot there in back of pod is a real nice find, and it looks like a lot is behind those mitts now.
Yeah.
And chat saying we missed hammer in Harmless Elway there as well.
Oh my gosh, dude. Really?
So nice 6 locked hammer in pod.
Okay.
Cool.
So we found a hammer to this dungeon. Classic. Even 6 key locked. This is also one of those times when you hope that your 50-50 shot is right. Little less punishing in co-op just because, again, you have a partner to try and
bow and pod, I'm leaving.
And a bow and pod? What is this dungeon? Is this open mode? We just find a bow and hammer and, 4 or 5 small keys and the big key in this dungeon, and we can just go clear it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing then Gem might end up going back to pod at some point.
Yeah, I could very much see him going back there to grab that bow in short order here.
So, Gem and Telethar collectively have explored the entirety of the Mire area. What is this big key here? I just missed it. Oh, pod. Oh, right.
That's the pod big.
Pod? Oh. Where the heck was this? Oh, okay, Hyrule Castle. Okay, excuse me. But, it really now makes me ask, how the heck are we supposed to get here to begin with? Right? Everything that we've done so far is sequence broken, and all the stuff that we thought might show up before the myths
so
are behind the myths?
On this. I don't. Oh wait, I missed another sword for Telethar because he just grabbed Tempered out of Castle Tower 1. So was there another? Everything is happening all at once.
I know. Why? How did all of these things happen so quickly? Why did the Mire area literally have so much stuff?
But anyway, what I was going to say was, hear me out on the logic behind Ice Armos. And I'm spitballing here, but we do have Cane and Boomerang and Fire Rod and Ice Rod, and we have 2 bottles and we have a half magic. I don't know exactly how the code's written, but I bet that those are some combination of those is enough to put Ice Armos killable equals true.
Okay. That is actually a fairly reasonable point. And I'm looking at the GT small keys. It looks like there are 3 of them available, or at least somewhere. Maybe there's a third one, because I think we also need some combination of GT small keys. Maybe you don't need as many if you're going through right side, because well, I don't know, but I'm gonna assume at some point that all this stuff is gonna be in logic. All you need is Boomerang. Great. Oh my gosh. Alright, okay, Telethar, you are here. Finding Desert back. I've seen we're switching to the bow. Very excellent job. We can cheat a little.
I'm scared to say anything.
Okay, well, you know what? He gave it a very good 1.5 cycles with the bow. That is good.
The bow has certainly been used. No one can argue
yes,
that.
That's true. It's okay. We got there.
All right, fire rod's coming out now.
We got there. All right, what's here? 10 bombs. All right, but that is crystal red. Well, crystal number 1, red crystal at that.
First dungeon clear of the match.
Yeah, that's right. So Jesse actually going through the water checks here. As soon as the stream comes straight back over, I did actually forget about this whole entire area. We don't have flippers, so none of the stuff is actually magic, but Zor himself is, or itself. I wonder if this
we'll
is
just
like
kind of have to.
This could be a sword. What do you think?
Well, that would be good for JKLOL if it were, I think.
Hopefully the internet issues are gonna be okay. Hopefully the PowerPoint, because Zora does take a long time, so we do have a chance of seeing what this item is before it's okay, 20 rupees. Unfortunate. Alright, okay. Big flippering, also Telthar getting up to Lumberjack.
This may be the liftable rock entrance for him. I don't think they've been up to that yet. Oh, they have been up to that.
Okay.
This is going to go put the hammer and hookshot to work on left side of GT.
Yeah, the
and potentially a climb here as well.
Since you are on Team Infinity and Pagog, you do know about Humbug. If as soon as we get he has many rules, Humbug has in cross keys, but his one trick to winning all cross keys races is to climb. So.
Well, there's flippers.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you probably... Well, okay, you will most likely not miss Hookshot, because that is 4 key locked in pot logically, but it's also just from rebasement, so it's a very common check. The one that you're maybe more likely to miss out on, depending on the order in which you open chests and keys you have, is Harmless Hellway versus Big Key Chest. So, like, that hammer...
Yeah, this is actually... So Jesse's going in the right direction towards Mitts right now, and that he's going through right side GT. And he already has his flute in hand, which tells me he might end up in the mire area from the start, which means he'd be finding Pod, assuming our tracking is accurate here, on one small key, which would definitely leave him from getting the hammer, probably from the hookshot as well, and the bow.
What was Super Bunny close by to Mire at some point? Because like
it was over there in that area,
okay.
So he would get that would be an opportunity to get Pod 2.
Yeah, but then of course you have to kind of go back. Hey, look, the other boomerang,
right.
That's Telethar. All right, Telethar is climbing. I do not remember what was behind Ganon. I know Agatu. I do know that Ganon himself is behind Uncle, the drop down.
Have we seen the well? Did we see that early on?
Probably not. I don't know if we've seen Bat. No, we've seen Bat. Never mind.
We saw Bat, yeah.
Yeah, with purple chest. Yeah, maybe actually. Yeah, probably the well.
Discussing go mode in the chat. We have not seen Hera yet, so that is a potential need. If Swamp is a crystal, we are missing the small key for that. And if Thieves Town is a... Actually, we know Thieves Town is a crystal, so we definitely need that big key.
Yeah, I don't also know if we're missing any connectors. That's GPZ on Telethar's side. But I guess for what it's worth, it is a 5/6 crystal, so... And we just, of course, find that out from the bomb shop dude. That could be another connector or entrance that we may or may not care about.
And Jesse's gonna be putting that boomerang to work here.
Yeah, this is going to be quite the find. Being able to do this on just Boomerang. I mean, he does have other equipment like Kana Samaria and I guess Snow's Sword. Yeah, just Kana Samaria. And an Ice Rod, but I don't think the Ice Rod really does much. You might be a little upset, honestly, if this like was the intended way for you to find out during a playoff game. Maybe the first in however many cross-key seeds you played is like, this is actually in logic. We were intended to do this this way versus like anything else, especially probably against a fairly formidable opponent that you may think that you know wouldn't probably.
And the thing is that if Leo had that boomerang in her possession when she was in right side GT earlier, I bet you she would have just followed it all the way through.
Probably. Actually, that's a very good point. Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't even, it's just a matter of it came down to who finds things in which order.
Where was
as well as that gosh, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, because this is one of those very certainly rare cases where you like the boomerang is almost never used, like you just don't care, unless it's maybe used for like paradox, right? You're like, oh, okay, I have a projectile weapon of some sort in order to hit switches, and that's more convenience than anything. But here is actually logically like surprise.
All right, well, right a book and a Hera big over in right side desert for Leo. And we're going to see what's up at the top of GT. A single arrow there in the pre-Moldorm chest.
Nice. Alright, I'm hoping to outvow his teammate. I said opponent. I meant what I said.
Sometimes we accidentally say the truth.
Nice fight, though, looks like, on jump side. Wait, what was that? Something GT?
CT2 there.
CT2, great. Yeah, because I think right now, we found Desert Bag, we have Eastern, but we need most likely Eastern Palace Big Key. But yeah, the only dungeon we haven't found is Hera. Have you found Swamp?
Yeah, we've seen Swamp. It's right next to
right.
House.
It was super early. That's right. I remember now. But no Swamp Small Key. Yeah, so we're just still missing some information on our pendants.
Yeah, that is the big thing that we're lacking at this point, is that information on just, you know, what exactly do we need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so I understand that, you know, Jesse is right now in PowerPoint mode. Honestly, the fight with Ice Armos with the boomerang is just as long, if not longer. Probably not actually much changed since we are just getting every 5th frame or something. But hey, what? GG, Jesse. We have gotten our mitts and our GT to this dungeon.
Watching Jesse's stream is like that one Futurama episode where they kept skipping around in time.
Yeah, that was a hilarious episode. It skips all the tedium. And honestly, like, for how much we skipped Zora, Zora area, that check, all of Ice Armos with Boomerang, yeah. You really didn't miss much, honestly.
Yeah, we did see the well there behind GT. I don't know if we saw anything particularly interesting in there. I saw Skullwood's small key, but not sure there was anything else.
Probably well, I was gonna say it's logically. I mean, it's logically required to beat the boss, but we know the skull's a pendant, so we probably don't care, honestly. All right. Well, Gem is armed with 2 rods: TR big, TR small.
Yeah, this looks like a try next play from him, in addition to getting Laser Bridge and Crystal Roller info.
Oh, Pizza Small Key from Fishing Blue. It said it was in the well. Thank you. Telethar giving us the King check. Very apt that Telethar, of all people, is going to go make this check first. It's just 50 rupees. The reason why is in a previous Crosskeys 1v1 race versus Andy, Telethar, for some inexplicable reason, decided to rush this particular check, found Boots, and then immediately rushed to Desert Entrance and found Boots. So now he is known for this check. No capacity upgrade. We don't need bombs or arrows really much anymore. We've already gone past our arrow sink, which is Lambo. More pod keys.
So yeah, we are going to see Trinex here from Gem, and this will also be our first, assuming that we can get back in, I believe it'll also be our first look at where the entrance is for front of TR.
By the way, okay, so Leoria has now kindly shown us where the red boomerang was. It was in Paradox. Way early, and I mean, this is completely understandable.
But yeah, that was the only thing I think that we got out of the 5 chests.
Exactly.
And so it makes sense why you would maybe skip that.
Yeah, because like, why would you go, especially in co-op, right? You're trying to be conscious of your time. Boomerang, of all things.
Ah, jeez.
What?
I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a very nice Trinex fight. Down for Gem. Crystal number 2, it looks like. At least for crystal number 3. He beat Vitreous earlier. That's right.
Yeah, he's starting to mow him down here.
Yeah, and this is kind of where I mean, in general, you see very, like, talented, experienced runners with their, let's say, like, comfort equipment, tempered sword and boots. I mean, a lot of, let's say, 124, 123 NMG runners, I mean, even, like, many people who enjoy playing this game, this is, like, where they're, like, once they have this kind of equipment, they're very happy. Did you note the ice rod doesn't work on the free source?
No, but I did find out the other day that Ether doesn't work on Cold Stare. It just makes him colder.
Oh, okay. Oh no, does that mean you need 16 fire rod shots instead of just the regular 8? That would be pretty bad.
That's a great question. I really hope not, but you never know.
Yeah, you can kind of use the medallions as a multiplier. Like every time you use Ether, it like doubles the protection of Cold Stare, and every single time you use a Bombos medallion, it halves the protection.
All right, so Jesse is gonna get to the back here with a small key. So hopefully we see him open Harmless Hellway here and get that hammer.
Yeah, and especially situations like this, I certainly have seen people maybe want to be a bit more conservative and not open Harmless Hellway because it's like, I don't want to waste the key. What if I just need another pod key for Helma, so I don't really want to use it right now, and they've certainly gotten burned because they didn't open this door. You will get another pod key. Being in pod key go mode is not going to be the end of the world, and we don't even know Pot's a pendant or crystal, so... But he's here in Harmless Hellway. We can see him not quite opening the chest, but the chest is open now. Alright. Teleport also getting the other far cornered overworld check of Catfish. He is not the Catfish guy. As Gem is finishing up Ice Palace, and yeah, Fishing Blue also mentioned that this is a crystal. Now we can see in the upper left-hand corner. And yeah, so this will be crystal number 4 for Gem. Certainly taking quite an extended lead on just crystal counts on the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is those mitts have proven to be a huge advantage. And now there's our Swamp Small, so now we have all 10 items available in Swamp, and we get another crystal here from Ice Palace. That's number 4 for Gem. This very well could be... Well, we still got Eastern we don't have a big key for. We haven't found Harry yet. But otherwise we've got... And we need a Thieves Town. We know we need a Thieves Town big for Go Mode, but they're rapidly closing in on kind of the end game here, whereas Jesse has only just gotten Sword 1 and his bow and hammer, but between him and Leoria, they still don't have any dungeon clears yet, and Leo's still got to go do a bunch of work here to kind of catch up, and it's real tough. I mean, maybe they can get to some kind of out of the way location here first, but other than that, it is going to be tough to see a kind of a path back in this one for JKLOL at this point.
Yeah, and there's some other somewhat like compounding factors that have helped. I would say Gem and Telethar really propelled them incrementally forward. Like they were earlier on, they were kind of first to the mirror, they were first to the boots. First, I mentioned that sword that was out of logic and hookshot cave because they both used their boots to get them. And then you saw everything that was after the midst, right? Due to all that stuff, like more swords, hookshot, hammer, all the things that you bow, right? All the things you basically found in pod, all the things you wanted basically before you wanted to go to Ice Armos for all this stuff. And so these little things, especially with being swordless for so long, can really, I guess, like slow you down in more ways that you might actually consider.
Yeah, Jesse is going to get back here and finish off pod though.
Okay,
he
that's good.
did come back here, or did come in back with another small key. So that'll at least be a dungeon down for JKLOL. Hopefully a crystal for them.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. Being a pendant, while it's not going to be the end of the world, might not be quite the morale boost that Jesse and Leoria are looking for. What is Jen doing? Okay.
Saving time.
We got there. Yes, we got there. Because yeah, like they know the crystal. They need to know red crystals. I think Leo also did a map check. Yo. Okay, we got blue mail. Everything is fine. We can make it. Okay, over. Do we have a fairy?
I think she did. Maybe found the second one. Maybe not. Maybe that was Telethar who found the other one.
Do we have red mail? Does this bomb like just not do any damage? Like it exploded.
I think I think it's a little early in that she's getting the.
Oh, the
she's getting the water iframes there
okay,
first.
Gotcha. I was like, is she invincible now with the blue mail that I don't know about? I don't actually
There we go.
check. Well done. Well done. Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't actually check to see what was on left side of Swamp that Gem ended up being over here for. I assume it was nothing, because I don't see anything else new on the tracker. Smoky to Hera, home the pendant. Pots of green pendant.
Green pendant? We haven't seen Saha yet.
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we knew this knowledge up front. In terms of items, we still definitely need that Thief Sound Big, as you said, and we need to find Hera, which is still an entrance out there. With this equipment, we should... Nice last sword swamp. We should have access to everything. Just trying to think of where else we
the only entrance that's not accessible to us right now is Pyramid Fairy until we get that Thieves Big.
I guess that can be where Hera is.
Yeah, but we still don't know. We still don't know what our last pendant dungeon is. We know Swamp.
Right.
We know Skull Woods is one of them, but
and Pod.
Still waiting to see our third. Oh, there's that Thieves Big. So.
Right. So, I guess it's I don't want to call it linear, but it certainly does give you a fairly clear path towards the end game. We found Swamp Small on Coldstair. Is that right? One of these dungeon bosses had something. Oh, maybe it was Tridex. Yeah, one of them had it. Swamp Small, which then of course leads to, in this case, Thief Sound Big. So that's also something that they can clear. It would be pretty hilarious, honestly, if there's something Thief Sound Big chest, in which case the climb would be required. But I guess that's Telethar's issue.
Yeah, he'll be the one to give that information for sure. Simultaneous boss kills from Telethar and Gem, and both of them getting crystals out of it. So that's another piece of info there. Now that we know Swamp is a crystal.
Yeah, so that is 5 crystals known.
Between Eastern and Hera for whatever our last pendant and last crystal are, and Gem up to 5 crystals done at this point.
Yeah, he's certainly taking the lead on foraging through dungeons as opposed to more overworld. We saw like Telethar do a lot more of those checks. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be because he has the key from Swamp. No reason to not do this now. It's because if we find Eastern Big we're done. We're just looking for entrances at this point.
This has been Usedbow has been making great progress through this seed. Speaking of Usedbow, we're 3 for 3 now in landbow fights today.
Still counts, by the way. Jesse may or may not run out of magic, but it still counts.
He used a bow.
That's right. He is only a master sword, so the bow is actually faster or more effective as a weapon. Jesse has, of course, run NMG as well, but in this case, yes, like the master sword doesn't do much damage. Doesn't do any more damage than the fighter sword does. Yeah, and it does look like right now Telethar is just kind of playing catch up. Like I mean, it is a co-op mode. They do both need to clear 7 crystals and go beat Ganon, and so he has to do this eventually.
Yeah, and especially when Gem is now clearing through Crystal 6, you let him just go ahead and blaze the trail on that, and then he can start doing some of the weird out-of-the-way checks. He can be the one who goes and does Spike Cave, or goes and explores these last couple entrances that we've got to find, and you can let Telethar play catch up for a little bit and then do some more. Then he can start kind of trying to track down what's left there based on the info. There's an Eastern Big that could be go mode right there. It's, I think 50-50 on whether that's go mode at this point.
Well, I guess we find Hera, right? If that's the last pendant, we can just go beat it, or we can just go beat it if it's a crystal, right? We don't need anything for. Yeah,
that's true actually. So it's basically 100% go mode. Then just pending finding Hera location, but we do have every entrance accessible to us.
Leo, by the way, has probably got her first sword, 113. Where I'm very, very proud.
I get the feeling that we're going to get a very different tone from JKLOL when they get in here and kind of share their feelings about this seed, because they spent this whole thing in just item poverty and just were off the track, and kind of by about the 45-minute mark, they had to start feeling like they were off the track on this one. And then once they see those mitts and see everything over in Meyer area that was behind them, it feels just extra like, okay, well, we're just waiting for dot duns now,
Yeah. Although, like, there's some chatter in chat saying that, like, maybe we didn't need the mitts in order to get to the Meyer area. Like, there was Super Bunny that was right around the corner. I don't know if anybody actually followed that.
Yeah, so we did see. I didn't see actually what the. Actually, we did. We just saw Leo going through the bottom of Super Bunny, and then the upper exit was in Meyer area. So yeah, that was accessible, but I didn't see where the front entrance of that was.
All right, that was a ridiculously fast map check on Leo's side. I did see a flicker of something for Hera. Maybe that's the pendant.
I did not catch it.
Yeah,
so.
I also didn't catch anything. It was way too fast. Yeah, but it's kind of looking like maybe the GT climb was in this case not necessary. Only kind of one person had to do it.
Yeah, but it made sense when Usedbow was doing it for sure, because Telethar was already back there doing the left side clear. Jim might get away with never making it back there for those flippers or anything else in GT.
Yeah, so if this is a crystal, then I guess all Gem has to go do is to go beat Ganon, is that correct?
Yeah. This will be Crystal 7 for him if he... if that's what drops here.
Alright, still recover the fight. Well done. Yeah, and it is a crystal. These guys talk about Fast seats. Well, again, you are certainly correct in that maybe Jesse and Leora have a difference of opinion about how fast the seed has gone. But from Gem and Telethor's side, this...
I mean, you're going to see a dot done in here before Leo has her first crystal. That's never going to feel good, no matter what happens in a race.
Yeah, so I think at this point, Telethor just has to kind of follow the rest of the trail. He has finished Swamp. He has Thieves Town Big from Swamp. He will get Eastern Big from the back of Thieves Town. And then he'll go beat Ganon, presumably. Yeah, Gem's gonna finish in the next couple minutes, and Telethor probably has like 5 or 6 left after for him.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I don't think they silver star. Maybe they're in the big key chest of pods. I think that'd be pretty hilarious. Both bows and hammers.
I think we did see big key chest from Leo,
oh, okay,
and it was nothing.
Alright, well, we're gonna get the silver's hint or a notification as to where this actually is.
Oh, they were in here, of course. Why didn't we go there?
Yeah, where was Hera again?
We'll never know.
Hera could be at GT entrance, it could be at Pyramid Fairy entrance. I think those are definitely 2 locations that we have now unlocked thanks to the 5-6 crystals. Yeah, or all 7 crystals for that matter.
Jesse gets his mire clear done. Telethar already in the back of Thieves Town at this point, and Gem is just a few spins away.
Yeah, one of the benefits, I guess, of being the dungeon rusher on your team is that you get a pretty significant leg up on trying to beat your co-op partner to finish. Also setting your co-op partner to do a whole GT climb, which is basically a dungeon in itself that you didn't have to go to. Oh yeah, but that is GG's to Gem, finishing first place in this race with a sub 120 time. Ridiculously fast. I mean, these guys showed how you can do well in playing co-op cross keys.
Yeah, they hit a route on this one, and it was, you know, they hit the route, but they also made some really good plays. The hover and hookshot K proved very important for them to get that early sequence broken sword. Just, you know, good routing, a little bit of good luck, good execution. It's kind of been Usedbow's MO this whole season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I will say, like, the fact that Telethar also kind of followed Gem relatively quickly to Ice Armos with kind of like not having very much else, I think that also really benefited them. Finding those mitts, like at the time, I don't know if we really saw like the immediate value of the mitts and maybe what the potential is, like what it could lead to. But you know, Telethar probably having some amount of foresight.
Mire area was just stacked in this one, and obviously we did find out there was an alternate way there without the mitts, but it certainly seemed like the quickest way to get there in this one, and it just eluded JKLOL for quite some time for a variety of reasons that all kind of came together.
Yeah, and the flippers were like locked, right? So you weren't really supposed to get over there, I think. Yeah. Flippers were in GT, or in left side GT, so that was behind the hammer in the mire area. We got some more Usedbow action on Leoria's side, even before she ran out of magic. Very proud.
She even ran out of bows. That's commitment.
That's even less proud, but like, yes, that's unfortunate. And now we have to, yes, the hammer. Oh, I guess Jesse did have the hammer earlier, which does some more damage. This is just a little bit more dangerous because the hitbox is kind of crummy. Yeah, but I don't know how actively watching Jesse like they are of the race room, but as you said, the fact that you see one person on your opponent's team finish before really like you have even probably potentially even foresight to think about like what other items or interests you kind of need for go mode is probably does not really raise the hopes. Hey, look, there's silvers.
All right.
where
Well,
was this interest, by the way?
I think this is hammer
couldn't remember-
pegs.
Oh, okay.
Because we got hammer so late,
Oh,
no one ever made it back
true.
over there. They had already done
True.
purple chest at that point, and
Hilarious.
they never really ended up needing to do that entrance hunt at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because Gem forged ahead, got Eastern done, and he found out it was a crystal, so Telethar was no longer interested.
So that's Crystal 7 for Telethar. He does have Meyer done as well. So it'll be on to Ganon for him here, and on to round 2 of the playoffs for Usedbow once he gets that done.
Yeah, and looks like actually Gem, finishing up the credits, I think he is on the hunt to find silvers, is my guess. He has time. I mean, he's not like he's already finished.
Look, he's already got the race victory in hand, so at this point he's gonna go try and see if he can get silvers before Telethar done's here.
It might be close. I mean, Gem is in the right area for entrance hunting, and Telethar does have
right in basement cage. I think he's gonna make it.
Yeah, Telethar had like an minute 30 maybe. Hopefully not much longer if he survives this fight. He's got blue mail. He should be fine. Alright, well Gem's heading over. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Yeah, confirmation on Leo's side that it is in fact dependent.
Look, it's Silver Arrows and Tower of Hera.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, do you mind passing this way?
Well, Telethar missed his torch glitch here, and he doesn't have the lamp, I don't believe, so this could be a little bit stinky for him.
Yeah, he does not have the lamp. I was actually pretty surprised. Well, okay, one, because the lamp is somewhat, like, kind of right there in Dick's spot, and they had the shovel, but then again, maybe Telethar didn't have the shovel, and also it wasn't really close by to anything, and they had the fire rod early, so it's like...
Yeah, I don't think he ever actually picked up he never went back to pick up the shovel, so, yeah. This is going to be a little bit... You have to be a little bit careful with the usage here. Because I don't believe we have any green or blue potions in hand.
I see Mike ready to...
The good news is that if he wants to, we can save and quit out of here, go get silvers, and come back.
True. Telethar's teammate Jam has already found out where the silvers are. Telethar is somewhat resorting to just sword slashes now. In order to... Are we gonna get enough slashes on this thing? Okay. We are going to use our last set of arrows.
Oh, we're not refilling.
We don't have enough. It's unfortunate.
I had no idea whether or not that was set up correctly or not, because I was just like, I don't know how to do that trick. That's too arcane for me.
Easy. nice big magic drop.
Okay, dude. Oh no, Jem's gonna go back and try and beat him with silvers.
I was gonna say, like, is this a real race between teammates? Alright, take your bets. Who do you think will finish first, Gem or Telethar? Telethar did drop in earlier. Gem has silvers. Telethar has a fairy, don't worry. Telethar does not have a fairy, don't worry. Oh man. Okay.
Okay, do you think Gem can beat
Oh.
Ganon 3 times?
Okay. A good question. What else could we look for in the sea that we haven't found between Gem and Telethar? Did they find Verna? Did they find Book? Gem can go be Skullwoods, and he can pull Pedestal. What do you think?
I'm not ruling it out at this point.
Sure, what do you think is going on through the head of Telethar right now?
Oh, I have no idea what's going on up there. It's far too advanced for me to understand whatever it is.
Well,
but
I was more wondering, like, right now, and because this is actually, like, okay, granted they are up 1-0, right, and they haven't seen a dot done from Jesse or Leoria, so maybe they're not as worried because Gem finished so far ahead, but, like, at the same time, it's like, oh, I could have been done 5 minutes ago.
Oh, and Leo taking a death, unfortunately, on Vidi there. Just ended up with a Master Sword being the only thing left out of other resources.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. The last sword is a swamp, we know that. And I guess Jesse found... Actually, where was the third sword?
There was one in the first chest of CT, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah. That actually might be worth it to go get.
Yeah.
Because you want one. For... I mean, in general, right? Like, you would really like to be on Tempered Sword, Master Sword, while it is the Sword of Evil's Bane that you can pull out of Light World after you beat 3 dungeons. The Tempered Sword is certainly something significantly upgraded.
Anyway, third time the charm for Telethar. Gonna get across.
There's a 5-minute and 13-second difference for Gem's timer that he restarted the seed in. But big GG's to Team Usedbow. Just like we said, if you use the bow on Lamos, you get to win the game. And here we are. Congratulations for advancing on to the next round of playoffs. And yeah, big GG's to Leoria and Jesse. It does look like that they were probably just waiting for the dot done, as you kind of mentioned before. And this was a very, very difficult seed to play.
Yeah, no, that was just the margins were slim in terms of what the the big differences ended up being on this one. And it really just was kind of bad luck, bad circumstances for JKLOL that is not reflective. The result of this race is not reflective of how they played in this one. It's just kind of how the whole thing, how it played out was just very unfortunate for them. And looks like we are being joined by our runners today. Welcome in to both Team JKLOL and to Team Usedbow. GG's, everyone.
Okay.
Sure, GG.
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 Well, I think some people, let me apologize on behalf of the seed. I'm sorry.
I'm glad we figured out the logic and, got moving a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't really acknowledge how absurd that hover ends up being.
Yeah,
Hover?
that was the big difference in this one, aside from the fact that Leo did not have the boomerang when she went through right side GT the first time, was that Gem and Telethar had discovered via hover in Hookshot Cave that there was a sword in one of the chests.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
I just was having my fingers were cold. I could not get it today.
Yeah, and so that was that. It's so silly when that's something that becomes a turning point in the race, but it really was.
Yeah, normally that's it's nice to have. It saves some time here or there, but that sword. I mean, Ice almost locks all 4 swords logically. And
it locks the hammer and the hook and the bows.
Yeah.
And the flippers and everything.
Yeah, the fact that just Pod in particular, but the whole Mire area was just so loaded in this one made it made the fact that Usedbow getting through there on the first try versus kind of it taking a long time before Jesse, you made it back over to right side with the boomerang. That ended up being the big swing in this one, as I'm sure you've kind of already figured out.
Well, and what our assumption was that even if they had not done that, when Leo found the other end of Super Bunny after I had found Super Bunny top, and then you should have heard her. She was elated. Like, her excitement when she found Super Bunny was over the top.
Oh yeah, I guess you can just sequence break there.
Yeah, like I went to Kern Jump, and literally I get over to the potion shop, and I'm like, I'm gonna try Catfish too, and I see, because Jesse had said, you know, you could Kern Jump, and you know, if you find the other side of Super Bunny, like, hurry yourself through. I'm like, okay, and so I'm, you know, doing all that. I'm like, all right, I go in. I'm like, super. I'm like squealing because I'm like beside myself. I'm like, oh my god, I don't have to do the stupid boomerang ice arm hose. I was thrilled. It's not okay. So then it's just like rush pod, do the pod things, and then I bailed on the rest of it to go get my mitts from GT. Because at that point it's like, well, I have a bow ice arm, is free, and I can do all of left side GT.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But no. To say that I was elated is a massive understatement. I squeed very, very loudly.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, but that's it. So is Ice Armos like you just need a boomerang? So is it like the boomerang's actually like logical in some stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure you don't just need Fire Rod and Samaria.
It's possible that the problem was that was the thing, is that we had the bottles, but there were no shops to buy potions.
Yeah, like, potion shop is behind Hammer.
Yeah, so that was the issue. Like, I don't know if like you would have had to have been really slick with magic, and I don't even know if you could have had enough.
I think at that point the half magic was accessible, and
I don't think it was logically accessible because it was behind all 4 TR smalls, and I think at least 1 TR small was behind all that junk.
It was, yeah. There was a TR small on left side with the flippers.
Yeah. So yeah, even half magic wasn't available yet.
Gotcha.
And that was the thing. Like, I found that that red boom, and I was like, oh, that's not important. Like, get your 3 hundo, get your moon pearl, but that's all that's in Paradox. Thinking like, Leo doesn't need a red rang at this point. Like, save some time, and then no.
Surprise!
And
surprise!
Turns out, yep.
Well, I'm glad at least the audience got to see at least one boom Armos fight. You know, that's fun.
Yeah, that's the thing
true.
to take from this.
Doing it for the fans.
Most of it at that point, the stream was having a little bit of issues on your side, Jesse, or not. It was. I don't know if it was on your side or SG's side. It resolved itself eventually.
Me.
But,
yeah.
I think we were getting the slideshow at that point through the boomerang fight. So
we caught the highlights. Don't worry.
We understood what was happening there for quite a while.
I mean, it was multiple minutes, so you know.
Exactly. We caught the highlights. Yeah, there was, I mean, that's like, it was just, you kind of, for better or for worse, right, like, there were just kind of 2 different showcases of how the C can go really well for one team, and then how the C can go extremely less well for the other team. I'm sorry again for this.
That's a very kind way to put it.
Yeah, I guess maybe my only one other question for Telethar is, so, you know, you're no, okay, never mind, I don't need more questions for Telethar. So how are you guys feeling about advancing on to the next bracket round?
Okay, wait, no, you can't open that can and not spill the beans now. Now I have to know.
You can
need to look at the VOD.
Oh, baby.
All I'll say is that we saw Ganon get killed, and then we saw Ganon get killed, and then we saw Ganon get killed for a 3rd time, and then we saw a dot done.
If you would like to look at the timers, Leo, between
and
Telethars.
I was gonna say, I just figured like somehow Gem like just really hit the jet and like Telethar was kind of having to like
that was
catch up
that was
slightly,
part
but-
of it. That was most of it, to be honest. But that's all you need to know.
Got it. So definitely don't go open the VOD right now and look at the last 10 minutes of the stream. Got it.
Yeah, that would be wise. I think you would regret that if you did that. So.
We don't need
Is that a
this.
promise or a threat?
I mean, I would regret watching this anyway at this point because, like, I'm looking at my own tracker and I've got 3 crystals. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think we commented on it, but it probably doesn't feel good when you're sitting at 0 crystals and you see a dot done in the chat.
I mean, we were already kind of just like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure by the time
like,
you guys got to the mitts and got to everything in my area, you were both like, okay, we kind of know what's happened here.
when we knew GT was kind of the answer logically, I think we came to the agreement. We're like, yeah, as soon as they're done, we're done. Like, pack it in.
Yeah, and you guys spent so long without, even without that first sword, just...
Yeah, it's...
I will
say,
not a
like,
fun way to play the seed, not being able to clear any dungeons and not being able to really get around.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. Like, I don't work on hovering ever, so, like, it's not a skill I've kept up, and I accept the fact that this kind of seed can happen. Where it's such a good tool to have for cross keys, and I don't have it, and... So...
Same, except I'm not even up to the level of inconsistent.
Oh, I'm not at inconsistent anymore. I haven't done it in so long, I just can't. So.
But yeah, anyway, we'll kind of start wrapping things up here. First for Leo and Jesse, this is obviously the end of the road for you guys this season.
I mean,
3 years in a row, making playoffs and getting eliminated round 1. Woo!
that's the thing. It's,
we're consistent.
I think, yeah, we're consistent. And like the first year we made invitational playoffs, we ran up against Telethar and
GGW.
What was your guys' name? GGW and Hitsu.
Okay,
yeah, okay, dudes, and like, they won it, so whatever, it was fine. Last season, I think, was a little bit more of a heartbreaker for us. Like, Leo and I took a Retrance game to start that series, and then our games 2 and 3 just were not smooth. Against Don't Forget to Track Us, and then this year, we did what we could, and it just did not work.
I know, I appreciate the attempts for Usedbow, because it was a good luck charm for at least one team, so hopefully it was something as a highlight for this one.
Yeah. I will say, like, I don't know if the nickname has gotten around back to you guys at all, but I know that we have jokingly been calling you guys the final boss, like, of League this year.
I haven't heard that yet.
Okay, yeah. So, I'll just straight up say it. Like, it wouldn't have been surprised if you guys had gone 14-0 in the regular season, and when Pugs pulled, like, literally the last game, it was like, okay, is it possible? Is it a maybe that something could happen? It's like, okay, hope exists. But I think we knew coming into this that, like, it was a very long shot that we were going to come out of this series at all. And like at most, I think we were hoping for a win and take it to 3. But like, I don't think any of the 3 of us had any delusions of grandeur of coming out of this series completely like unscathed or even 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is just go in and play your race and do the best you can do, and sometimes it works, sometimes it shakes out right, and sometimes you get what happened today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
There's always...
what happened today, definitely unlucky. Like, we're definitely a strong team, but we're definitely not unbeatable. So.
Just like
I mean, Kaze and I were happy with how game 1 went. Besides the end outcome, we thought that was a good trend for us. This one was not ideal.
Sometimes
and-
Rando has your way with you for sure.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Is like
consent
you
or
just
not.
accept that. And this tournament's over for us. We'll get we have time before another big tournament thing. We'll do side tourneys and improve and have fun.
Yeah. And Jem, it was really fun to temporarily have you as the new J on the team. That was really, really, really swell.
I'm honored.
I'm same. I told you what I told you before the race. So I. No. It was more of a definite downgrade on Jem's side because I am not at Telethar's level at all. So.
I mean, don't say that.
And you're like, don't say that. Exactly that. But
it could be Telethar.
Yeah.
Someday, maybe.
Leo, you're gonna get a chance. I heard, right?
What?
Aren't you gonna face in a race soon?
Oh,
Kabuki is...
yeah. Oh God, you're absolutely right. I forgot that I could see Telethar in round 2 of Kabuki. Oh boy.
So yeah, it's your chance to take him down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kabuki admins. What a great fortune that you have bestowed upon Leo.
Thanks, Self/Kazdin.
Here's the thing. That's all set up completely by the fact of you guys running your async seed.
Yeah, true. I did not feel good about that async seed either, but that's beside the point. I do not want to derail the ending of the stream with other tourney talk. I wish you guys good luck, and honestly, please win the whole friggin' thing, because I would rather get eliminated by the champions. Just saying. No pressure.
We'll try.
We'll try.
Yeah, so
it was great racing, you guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, same.
Thanks for the commentary, Clemos. Well,
thank you. Yeah, Usedbow waiting now to see how the remaining results of round 1 shake out before they'll know their opponent for round 2. But that'll do it for us here today. Clear Mouse, thank you for joining us, and thank you to our tracker Fishing Boo, who did a heck of a job solo tracking today.
Oh my god.
Oh bless.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Will, for hopping in last minute as a mic replacement.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Glad the opportunity presented itself. Get well, Mike, and yeah, we'll let you take us out here.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Yeah, there's going to be one more match tonight for League, 9 p.m. Eastern. Dante and Andy versus, don't forget to track us, I think it's Ikir and Flipio and Randomizer. It'll be an SG3. And yeah, then big GGs to Leo and Jesse for making it this far into playoffs. And then, of course, good luck, Jeff and Telethar and Mike on to round 2. And yeah, so have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll see you back here hopefully tonight for the next league match. See y'all later.